Menopause. It's inevitable, but almost none of us are prepared for how it actually shows up. There's no roadmap, no diagrams, no how-to manual, just the change, arriving on its own schedule and doing its own thing whether we like it or not. In this episode, I'm joined by my friend, Trish Wager, and I'm deeply grateful for her willingness to share her journey. We talk about why being heard and finding knowledgeable, trustworthy support matters, and what it's like when even yoga doesn't help. This is a shared conversation and a reminder that you are not alone. So let's get started. Welcome to the Youthful Older Yogi podcast. I'm MJ Waddell, your host and founder of Share Yoga. I've been teaching, practicing, and loving yoga for nearly 30 years. I'm an advocate of movement, creativity, and staying healthy in mind and body after 50. It's never too late to start, and there's a lot of healthy years ahead. So let's start now. Hi, everybody, and thank you so much for tuning in to the Youthful Older Yogi. I'm MJ Waddell, the founder and creator of Share Yoga and your host for this podcast. I have a really special guest on today, Trish Wager. We go back quite a few years, and I'm not quite sure what I'm going to entitle this episode yet. I think it's kind of might have the title of Inevitable Beginnings, Inevitable Change. It's just inevitable. So today, just so we're transparent, we're going to be talking a lot about menopause. So gentlemen, if you're listening, it's actually good that you listen because you can get a different perspective. So don't just turn it off, okay? And, let's just take a collective exhale before we begin with this topic. It's not a medical episode. As you know, my disclaimer, I'm not a physician by any means. And this is not a definitely one-size-fits-all conversation. It's really just like a real life one. So please let me introduce Trish to you. Thank you, Trish, so much for being on the podcast today.
MJ, it's truly my honor and privilege to be here with you. Anytime I get to share space with you, I'm very grateful.
Oh, same. Thank you. Okay, so, and also there's just so much, there's more willingness now to talk about menopause. So your willingness to share and shine a little bit of light on your journey may help others. So that's really the whole purpose. Okay, so first of all, I think we met at a yoga class.
Yes.
Okay, can you, I don't know, my 66-year-old brain can't remember everything anymore. Is that where we met?
Yeah, I was relatively new to yoga. I was finding my practice and instantly just adored you and your teaching and the way that you sneakily made it very hard, but yet accessible and fun. Yeah.
Well, thank you. Appreciate that. And so let's talk a little bit about your yoga journey and how yoga found you, if you don't mind sharing that. What brought you to the mat, or what was the circumstances where you started yoga?
Yoga had always been something that I wanted to try. I was a hippie at heart, followed the Grateful Dead, and yoga just seemed like it would be really great for me. And I, for 15 years worked in high tech, and I didn't really have the space in my schedule to do yoga. It was work all day, and then at night you're entertaining customers. And so in 2010, I left that industry and I did my first new to yoga series at Breathe with one of my best friends, Jen. And the first class I hated, it was so hard. And by the third class, I was in love, and I quickly became addicted, was getting on my mat anywhere I could go, I would practice. And it was a place that, I was really unsure of who I was. After spending 15 years in one industry, I had always defined myself through my work and my success through my work. And the mat really provided a place for me to uncover who I really wanted to be and who I really was at my core.
Oh, I love that story. And just speaking of Grateful Dead, our prayers go out to Weir. Is that how you say his last name? Weir.
Yeah.
Who just passed. If you're listening to this, he passed early January. Yes, the Grateful Dead, quite a Quite a band to follow. So,
Very, very. Yeah.
are you an official deadhead?
I am. I'm honored to call myself a deadhead.
Gosh, you're my first deadhead. I love it. Perfect on the podcast.
Yay.
And so, are you currently teaching yoga, or can you share a little bit about that?
I am not currently teaching. I stopped. I was teaching a lot, and then I decided to get back and get another real job, which is always the death of your yoga practice, if you don't know, and stopped teaching for a while. Went back and taught post COVID, which was very unique. We were wearing masks in the studio, had like air purifiers running, and it just didn't feel the same. So I stopped. And as we'll talk about, through menopause, it was very difficult to practice. Like
Yeah.
the way my body changed and stuff, it just wasn't great. So I'm not teaching right now, but I am practicing. Last week, I got out 4 times to a studio. So for me, that was like, amazing. So that's where I'm at right now, is that I'm coming back home to my practice.
Yeah. And that's the beauty of yoga. It's always there waiting for you, regardless of whatever type of interruptions you have. There's many times where it's just like you just get interrupted. But the mat and the practice is always there.
Yeah.
So thinking about, well, I'll get to that question later. But let's go to the moment when you noticed something's changing.
Yeah, right.
Something's a little different. So, do you remember like when you first had those inklings of you were realizing that something was different? Maybe you didn't even know it was menopause.
Yeah, I remember thinking, okay, the past 2 years I've gained 15 pounds each year, and nothing had changed.
Right.
The way I moved, the way I ate, the way I lived my life did not change. And then also I remember being out. We were one of my other passions is live music, and we were out seeing live music. And I remember just all of a sudden being so hot and having to like strip down to a tank top in the middle of winter and being like, what is happening to me? And I think I was in my early 40s,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm now 53 something. So yeah, that I feel like it was the weight and the hot flashes were when I started to realize
Yes.
that was the inkling.
Doesn't that suck when you're not doing anything different and all of a sudden your body's doing something completely like invasive and just fucking you over and going, sorry, it's hormones and you don't get a say.
Right. Yeah, no, right. You didn't get any say or warning.
You didn't really get a warning, and there's no handbook about because you don't really know how it will affect you.
Right, right.
And we do know that it's different for every woman across the face of the earth. So it was like, it just kind of arrived, said, hello, surprise, here I am.
Yeah, it wasn't that nice.
So it started, you remember you're at a music event, and then did it kind of go into the background, or then was it more deliberate?
I started to become a little bit more deliberate in the sense that I was getting more moody
Mm-hmm.
for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started talking to doctors and was like, this is happening, that's happening, should we be concerned about my weight gain? Oh, no, it's just normal course of aging.
Oh, I hate that answer.
I'm like, that does not work.
It's like wrong answer, beep, 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 wrong answer to give to a woman who's just put on weight for no reason.
Well, and I also got the same answer. What's frustrating is fine. I can understand it from my PCP, who was a young guy, relatively out of med school. Because if you don't know, in upstate New York, it's almost impossible to find a PCP today. Mm-hmm. And you got to take what you can get. And so I get that. That was his textbook answer. But my OBGYN, who was someone in their 50s and a female, gave me the same answer. And that's when I said, okay, no, this is not acceptable.
Yeah. So you started to be your own advocate. And did you feel like you were maybe not taken seriously?
I mean, not to take us down a dark spot, but I was suicidal and no one would listen to me. And I remember calling my OBGYN's office crying, like, please, can you please help me? Like, I don't know what's happening. I have no reason to be this sad and this upset, but I would like to, I feel like I want to kill myself.
I'm
And they're like, well, have you tried exercise?
there's yet another wrong answer.
I am a yoga instructor, people. Like,
I know. It's like uh,
we
there's
know the power. We know the power of movement. We
yeah,
understand that.
but you know what? Yoga doesn't fix everything. It just doesn't.
No.
So anybody that tells you, "Oh, just roll your mat out and everything will be fine," that's another wrong answer, because there are physiological things that are happening, hormonal changes that it doesn't matter what you do. So I'm so sorry you had to go through that.
Yeah, it took a while. I reached out to a lot of different doctors and a lot of different people. And then I finally found two things. I found a psychiatric nurse practitioner that was remote that started helping me with medication
Mhm.
because I'm like, I need to do something. Like, nothing is getting me out of that dark place that I was in.
Wow.
This is chemical. And then I also found a new OBGYN that was a menopause specialist.
Wow.
And that changed everything.
And so besides, so you had the weight gain, the mood changes, the darkness, and,
Deep dark.
and
Yeah.
I'm sure that just kind of seeped into your life in unexpected ways. And did you feel, if you don't mind me asking, did you feel an amount of shame about it, or?
I did. Because I mean, from the outside, and even from my perspective, my life is really good. Like I have siblings that I don't even want to compare, but my life is, I'm very grateful for the life that I lead and the life that I have.
Mhm.
And I could not wrap my head around, why do I want to die? Like what, like this, it was a contradiction in my body of being like, I don't want to live anymore. And then also being like, oh my God, look at my life. It's so amazing.
Mhm.
And so that was really hard and also shameful. But then I also found some yogis that were going through it, and some of them gave me the courage to like be like not ashamed. Like, this is what's happening and fuck it. Like, you can fuck right off menopause. I'm going to beat the shit out of you.
Yeah. And that's the thing, because you shouldn't be ashamed about it. Whatever our body's going through, we don't have a choice in this. We're women, and we're going to have hormonal changes. We've had them since the minute we're born. We're going to have them through the minute we die.
Yeah.
And aren't we lucky? So it's like, but that's why this conversation, because you are a very gregarious and outgoing and positive person. And I'm sure to have those dark feelings were very confusing for you and frightening, you know,
Oh, yeah.
completely.
My poor husband. I mean, he didn't know what was happening. And, he did a lot of research, which I'm very grateful for him as well, because he now knows, that we're in it together, and like there's things he can do to help me and there's things I can do to help him. And
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, that's great. I'm so glad you have that support.
yeah.
So you found someone that could help you with medication, and were you in talk therapy as well, or?
I was doing some talk therapy. I had some, all of my best friends live across the country. So we have like this app that we leave messages for each other on. And we were doing a lot of talk therapy because we're all at similar yet different things, and we're all experiencing it quite differently. So I've been doing therapy with them, obviously with my psychiatrist. And then I read a lot. I was reading a lot. I found a couple of really good doctors that I follow online now, and really just trying to keep myself educated instead of emotional about it.
Which I'm sure is very hard to do, because
I'm an emotional human to begin with.
well, we all are, and most yogis are. We could cry at the drop of anything. Like we're like, I mean, with yoga, it's all about opening your heart and opening everything, and with that becomes there's a lot of tears and a lot of sobbing that
Yeah,
happens.
yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Do you mind sharing which doctors you follow?
Yeah, of course. Let me just grab my phone. Um, so what, excuse me, the
Mhm.
one that kicked it all off for me, and through her is how I found my doctor. Well, first of all, the Menopause Society, which is a site on Instagram, is a non-for-profit org that doctors can go and get certified through, and it gives them more training. What I've come to learn is that most OBGYNs get maybe 10 minutes of menopause training. And the studies that are out there, based upon the woman's nurse study, women's health. I can't remember what it's called now, but they have debunked it all. None of it was factual. And
The Women's Health Initiative. Is that
exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So I think what's great is that you need to find doctors that are staying up to date with the current information that's coming out there.
Yeah.
And not a lot of doctors do. Okay, so one of the doctors I follow, her name is Kelly Casperson, MD, and she is actually a urologist, but she is leading the menopause charge. Her and there's one other doctor that's leading it, and of course I'm not finding her name.
That's okay. We can put. I'm going to put all these links in the show notes for
Okay,
people
great.
that may want to, and you can share with me others when we finish this. But it's so important, and I follow Maria Shriver. She's a very advocate for women's health, and you're right. The studies about women's health has just taken a back burner. I think it's starting to change now, and this is why these conversations are really important, because every woman is going to experience it in some way or another, and gosh, you need the support. You just do. So, and were there moments like I said, yoga doesn't cure everything. You can be going through a shit storm and yoga will do a thing for you, and you don't feel like doing yoga, meaning you don't feel like rolling your mat out, meaning you don't feel like having somebody tell you just take some deep breaths. You're like, fuck off. I'm right. It's like, so, and it's hard to meditate, and it's hard to do anything when you are not on your usual balance, and everything is just a shitstorm. So.
Right. Well, and gaining all the weight, I wasn't even able to bend like I used to bend. Things were getting in the way now, and I'm like, that's depressing. You look down and you're like, what is that?
I know. It's horrible.
Yeah.
Are your joints stiff? Did you get stiff joints, or because a lot of people say that their joints get stiff?
I've been having a little bit of shoulder issue, which they claim frozen shoulder is a thing. My joints, not so bad. I've been really good about taking some supplements, collagen, creatine, a protein powder, a mix of like superfoods that are green. So no joint issues per se, thankfully.
Were there other symptoms that appeared that were like, what the fuck is this?
Oh, my gums receded and I had to have gum grafting surgery.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. God, they really stuck it to you, didn't they? These hormones. Holy
Oh
shit.
my God. Yeah. They really did. And I don't know if you've had this, but my ears itch all the time and they ring.
Mentioned that to me. Knock wood, I had a few hot flashes. That's it. As far as mood changes, shit. I'm in the acting field. I'm consistent around people, but my mood can shift like that. So I didn't really pay attention to that. Hot flashes, I took some black cohosh, or however you say it, and that was pretty good. But you did say itchy ears, and my ears have been itching for a few years, and I'm just like, what is happening? Like, I didn't know that was a symptom.
Yeah.
Why? I'm gonna have to explore that. Why do your ears itch?
I don't know. There's so many symptoms that they're like, also like the ringing of the ears. There was something. Oh, sleep. I couldn't sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like there's a lot. I mean, if you grab one of these books, there's a bunch of new books that just came out about menopause, and the symptom list is just enormous.
Exhaustive. Yes, I've seen that. So, what was the turning point for you where you started to go, I have somewhat of a grip on this, or now I know what I'm up against, or now I know, were there any specific tools or a turning point where you could recalibrate?
I think the two turning points were, one, finding my nurse practitioner, and she said, don't worry, I've got you. And then two, finding the OBGYN that said, you're not crazy and we're going to make you better. Like just giving that hope, that sense of I'm not alone was huge. That's all I needed, was someone to say, I see you.
Wow. And I'm pretty sure your mom's not with us anymore, right? So you couldn't really go to her. And do you have sisters that are older and the same age, or going?
I have a sister that's older. but she doesn't remember really going through it. She's 11 years older. And my younger sister thinks she went through it a long time ago.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, no.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. My mom has gone too, and I was 31 when she passed, but I do remember, so she was 57 when she passed, and I have this visual of her. It's like, and Trish is up in Rochester, New York. That's where we're both from, which is like frigid land, right? And so I remember my mom, it was dead of winter. I don't know, like wind chill of like -5 or something,
Yeah.
opened all the windows, and I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, I just can't. She was standing in front of like this open window, and it's like freezing out. So I do
Oh my
remember
God.
that, and thinking she never said the word menopause or anything. I didn't really, I was 31 and didn't really think about that. I just she might have said it's the change,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Shh. Yeah.
it's the change. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, well,
Yeah.
I understand women having fans and everything. You don't know when that flash is just going to happen.
Right. Oh, and the one other symptom I forgot about is losing your hair.
Oh. Well,
That's also happened.
did you lose your hair because you have beautiful hair?
I take a supplement now
Okay.
every day, Nutrafol. I don't know if you
Okay.
can see it.
Oh, so it works like the commercial says?
It takes about 6 months, but it works.
I know. Well, I smoothed my hair today. I have hair like you.
Yes.
Today I smoothed it because it was just out of control.
Your hair's always gorgeous.
Well, so is yours, but that's really frightening when you have a lot of hair and it starts to go, and man, just not fun.
No.
How would you describe where you are now in the season
Oh,
of your journey?
that's a great question. I feel like I'm finding my ground again.
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
feel like, I hope. Well, this is interesting. So I thought I was doing pretty good, and my symptoms started coming back recently. I started not being able to sleep. I was getting breakthrough hot flashes.
Hmm.
And luckily, my doctors are great. They're like, okay, let's just readjust. We might just need to readjust your hormones. So I think I am very hopeful that I've got a strong foundation. I've got a good network of people that will help me. And now I feel like, I have found my way back to my yoga mat. And walking out of your house to go to the studio is the hardest step. And the fact that I've been able to do that also gives me hope.
Yeah, how does your practice feel? You went 4 times. How did it feel?
So, I mean, I'm definitely not as strong as I used to be, but it will come back. And today, it was amazing. I went this morning and I got so lost in my breath and the movement, like I didn't even see anything else around me. And that hasn't happened to me in a while. And it was just so, how that special moment, you just zoom and you're just, oh,
It's that, I call it that flush of gratitude where you're just like, oh my God, all I'm doing is moving and breathing and it feels so damn good.
oh, it felt so good, MJ. And it just feels like, you're a dancer, you have grace in your body. I've always been very clumsy, and I walk like an elephant and I step like an elephant. And yoga was the one place where I felt like I could be graceful. And
Oh
I felt that a lot today. Like just being able to move that way is really
my
nice.
gosh, well, thank you. I was a dancer. I'm still a dancer at heart. Nobody can do the things that they used to do when they were younger. You just can't physically. It's like, and it's impossible.
Right.
But like I said, your yoga practice is there for you whenever you want it, and it meets you wherever you are. And I'm so happy that you're getting to get back on your mat. And you want to.
Oh,
You
I do.
want to. That's the big thing. Like, because sometimes as a yoga teacher, you might have felt this way. And I taught a lot of classes, like when I first met you for financial reasons, I had to.
Right.
But I was like, I started to resent it. And then I started to feel, well, I'm a yoga teacher. I should love every freaking moment of it. And it's like, you can give as your teacher. I had one teacher say, you just give 80%, you save 20% for yourself. And I'll always remember that because, as I think you are, most women, we want to do the best. We're givers. We're
Mhm.
yes, 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 I'll give and give and give and give. And then my yoga practice became something I resented because I was giving so much to the classes willingly, wasn't
Oh, I
like,
know.
but then my own practice
Right.
suffered. And that's Yeah. So those are the shifts that happens. And so, well, this is the question that I had written, but you kind of answered it. The question was, what did this experience teach you about listening to your body differently? Well, you can't just ignore it.
You can't.
No, you can't ignore it. I think myself as being a trained dancer when I was younger, if there was a pain, I ignored it. I'll dance through it.
Yeah.
And I think with yoga, I know with yoga in my situation, when teachers say, listen to your body. And sometimes people go, well, what does that mean? And you don't really know what it means when you start a yoga practice because you've never really known how to or what does that entail, and then as you practice more and more, your body is sending you signals all day long. Your body is talking to you all day long. Like if I was younger and I had a pain in my foot, I'm like, put it out of my mind and just keep dancing. I want to stay in the front row. It's like, so, and I think when I started yoga, same thing. Not that I felt pain, but you just learn that discomfort is not where you need to be ever. Your body wants to be healthy for you.
Yeah. I think that's the thing. I think this has taught me, you know what your body is saying, and like trust your body.
Yes.
Like trust that you know something is wrong. And that like when the doctors were saying, you're fine. No, I'm not fine.
Right. The truth is they don't know what you're feeling and what you're experiencing. So, and also as yoga teachers, we don't know what's in the room. We don't know what they're feeling. And
No.
so if you're like myself, I teach older students, 55 and plus at the community I teach. And, everybody's going through something.
They are.
And I've seen people have hot flashes. I've witnessed it. I've seen people, and it's not because of the yoga pose. It's not because they're in chair pose. It's because they're having a hot flash and they're just like,
Right. Well, and I think that's the thing, right? As yoga teachers or even yoga practitioners, we have to make sure that the spaces that we're in and the spaces that we're contributing to, we allow people to just be themselves and meet themselves exactly where they are. Like, it's okay if this pose doesn't work for you. Like, only you know.
Right.
And I will never come and tell you, get in that pose. Like,
yeah, me too. And that's how we learn. I teach so much differently than I taught,
yeah.
20 years ago. It's completely shifted because I'm a different person. You're a different person. And you just evolve with the practice. And I'm teaching women of them at the same age as me, a little older, a little younger. And we're all going through the same stuff. So,
Oh, how beautiful that must be.
it is. It's really nice. And when people think that older practitioners, you have to be gentle with them, I disagree with that completely. We've been through hell, storms, everything. We're strong as fuck. And you give the older gals just agency to do what's right for them or not right for them.
Exactly.
But you don't want to, just be gentle now. No, we've got a lot of strength that needs, and we need to keep our strength as we age, not be gentle.
Right. Right.
I'm a complete like, oh well, you're older, so let's be gentle. I'm like, no, man, let's do some work here. Let's
hold that plank. Yeah.
let's get some strength back, And
yeah.
I just, if any yoga teachers, younger yoga teachers might be teaching older students, don't worry about them. They know when to quit. They know what to do. They're smart. Yeah. So
yeah.
Younger ones are like, I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna push myself. I'm just gonna until I rip a hamstring. So,
yoga butt.
Yoga butt. Exactly.
Yeah.
So I want to talk a little bit about, I know you're in a leadership position in your job. You don't have to say what it is or anything, but how did this experience of menopause? I know menopause doesn't just start and stop. It just keeps going for some women, many, for decades. It can keep going.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't just stop. So were there any, did it affect you as a leader in any way?
I don't think so, in the sense that I've always been a leader that leads with her heart, and I've always been very compassionate, empathetic. I think I also have this ability that no matter what is going on in my life, I can put my head into my work and just dig in and do what I need to do work. And it's part of my mom and me. She was a workaholic. I always joke I'm a recovering workaholic. Like, I don't know how to, I'm working better on creating healthy boundaries with work. And it's been a 30-year process of me trying to do this. But I think the one thing is, you don't, especially I work from home now and all of my meetings are virtual. You don't know how old people are at all. And people are often surprised when they hear that I'm the age that I am. And I think we have to do better as humans, just being like, I think it's almost at just meeting them where they're at, right?
Yeah. And not thinking if they think you're younger, you're less of a leader. Is that what it?
Yeah, it's more of like, oh, you can't be going through that. Like, that's not possible.
Again, it's like, yes, yes.
Yeah.
No, this reminds me of when I was younger. And you remember they used to show, I don't know what they did at your school, but they showed the movie about your period.
Oh, God, yes.
I think it was in fifth grade.
Yeah.
And my mom said, and I didn't like it, it's just a movie all the girls are going to, right? This is like 1971 or something, right? They're like, it's just a movie, all the girls are going. And we had to have permission slips. And my mom said, we didn't sign. She's like, oh, you don't need to know about that. You're too young. I'm like, know about what? It's a movie. All the girls are going.
Yeah.
And of course, I didn't have my period until I was almost 18. So I was like, what is wrong with me? Everyone's got it right. But I remember that not having the I snuck into the movie. I watched it. I'm
Of
like,
course you did. Right.
I already know this stuff, Mom. It's the Catholic upbringing. You got to hand here's
Oh,
it's the
I know.
blah blah blah.
Oh,
It's different now. Everybody knows. You can find out anything. There was no social media or anything, but that is a different a way to have perspective about. You don't know what people you can't immediately judge, and you can't say, oh, you're too young or you're too old to experience this. It's your experience.
yeah, it is your experience. I think the thing that comes up for me around the workplace is some companies are starting to understand that women need some support as they're going through menopause. I don't know that we know what that looks like yet. I think it's too early for them to figure it out, but I think it'll be nice if they start to recognize, like, we might need different work hours, or we might need, a
Yes.
flexible schedule because we're in the middle of a hot flash and we can't be on the go. Like,
Yes. And it's very, it's not, I hope people don't think of it as it's an excuse to get out of something. Because remember, like, you could, when you were younger, oh, I don't want to take swim class at school because I have my period. You could lie about that. You just didn't want to swim, right?
right.
Or you could use that for anything. Menopause is a whole different thing. People can see it visually. You can sense when a woman is changing.
Mm-hmm.
Most women, you can just sense it.
Yeah.
So what would you I'll just have a couple more questions.
Yeah.
If you feel like maybe someone that's listening that might feel lost like you felt, or might feel alone, or just might be screaming, why doesn't anybody understand me? What would you suggest? What would you say to them?
I mean, this is going to sound so simple, and I hope it doesn't sound like very tone deaf, but don't give up. Don't give up. Like, I remember reaching out to a friend, wasn't a good friend, but just someone that I'd met that, what, sometimes when you meet someone and they just have that they exude that warmthness, and you just want to hug them. I remember reaching out to them and being like, I'm in a really dark place. Would you recommend someone for me to talk to? And she gave me all this information. The next thing I know, she had asked me for my address, and I thought she was going to mail me like a pamphlet about this clinic. She had dropped off a piece of art that she had made and was like, don't give up. I'm like, oh my God. Like, so this is what I would say. Try not to give up, as cliche as that sounds, and reach out to people that you feel safe around and let them know what you're going through.
Right. Yeah. Sometimes too much sharing is too much. That's all there is to it. You want to be, around the people that you really trust, and that they care for you.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for all of that. I do want to I always ask a question, full transparency. I always send, kind of a blueprint of what I'm going to ask. So no one's completely thrown. But this is a question I ask all my guests. Don't worry about it. There's no right or wrong answer. A lot of people, say, knowing all you know now and all the experience you've had, what would you want to tell your younger self? But I like to switch that around and say, knowing all you know now and all the life experience you've had, what do you want to tell your future self?
Mm. Do the things that you enjoy. Life is so short.
Yeah, yeah, perfect. Thank you. I love it. And is there anything else you want to say on this topic that we haven't covered?
I mean, I think just, trust yourself, listen to yourself,
Mhm. Mhm. Good.
and know that you're not alone.
Awesome. Well, I am so appreciative around this conversation
Me
because,
too. Thank you.
oh my gosh, thank you. It's just a very important conversation to have. And again, in the show links, we will have the doctors that have helped Trish, and we'll put those in the show notes. And again, it's so lovely for you to share this experience, and I'm so glad you're doing better. It might ebb and flow right now, right?
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, MJ.
Thank you. And please, everyone, if you're watching or listening, as always, please visit my website. It's shareyogawithmj.com, shareyogawithmj.com. Reach out to me. You have a question, you have a comment, anything, like, subscribe, do all those things. It's all free. All it does is it helps people maybe learn about this podcast, and it might be of some value to them. So I appreciate all of that. And until we meet again, keep sharing yoga. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you so much for listening. Now you can go to my show notes on YouTube or Buzzsprout and send me a voicemail or email. I'd love to hear what topics you'd like me to speak about, what your thoughts are on the episodes, and maybe I'll share your message on a future episode. Please subscribe to my website, shareyogawithmj.com, so you can receive my newsletters and be first to know about my retreats, workshops, courses, and freebies. If you navigate on social media, you can find me mostly on Facebook and a bit on Instagram at Mary Jane Waddell. That's Jane with a Y, Jayne. This podcast would not be possible without the help of my editor, Dan Jones from Cocoa Beach Productions. You can find Dan at cocoabeachweb.com. And of course, thanks to my generous guests who share their time, insights, and youthful wisdom. Remember, the Youthful Older Yogi podcast is presented solely for educational, inspirational, and entertainment purposes. It is not intended as a substitute for a physician or other qualified professionals. Okay, yogis, stay well, stay youthful, and keep sharing yoga.